Underrated watches from major luxury brands. The large luxury watch companies all have their signature, recognisable pieces which they are best known for. Rolex has the Submariner, the Daytona, the GMT Master, the Datejust, and so on. You get the point. Audemars Piguet has the Royal Oak, Omega has the Speedmaster and Seamaster. However, all of these manufacturers have timepieces in their collection that don't receive nearly as much attention as many others. The most underappreciated timepieces from premium brands are frequently as desirable as their more celebrated stablemates, or in some circumstances their more lauded competitors. They need to be made more widely known. In response, we are here to highlight those pieces for you. Welcome back to our channel. We'll be highlighting underappreciated timepieces from well-known luxury brands in this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, you can do so by clicking here. These timepieces are underappreciated because despite having a lot to offer, they frequently appear as afterthoughts in the lineups of their respective companies. The most undervalued watches from luxury brands deserve to be on your radar when searching for a high-quality wristwatch, whether due to its excellent style, cutting-edge movement, or intriguing heritage. Let's begin now with our list. Longines Conquest VHP GMT. Nowadays, Longines' main product line is pretty much anything from their heritage collection, which painstakingly recreates vintage items from the company's heyday before the mid-century. On the other hand, Longines has a sizable selection. Amongst their more intriguing alternatives are the much more contemporary watches containing quartz movements with very high precision VHP, which are among the most accurate worldwide. The VHP GMT is exceptional since it combines excellent accuracy with a wholly original GMT feature that instantly uses your phone's flash to move to a different time zone. The Omega Railmaster. The Speedmaster chronograph and the Seamaster diver are probably the first two lines that come to mind when people think about Omega. The third component of Omega's professional triad, which debuted in '57, also deserves praise. Of course, we're referring to the Railmaster. The watch's primary selling point when it was first developed for railroad employees was its capacity to withstand magnetic forces up to 1000 Gauss. The modern version somewhat outperforms that with 15,000 Gauss's magnetic resistance. And to go along with its vintage design, it also has a gorgeous and distinctive vertically brushed dial. Bell & Ross V294 Belly Tanker El Mirage. Bell & Ross has only been active since the 1990s. Still, because of their instrument line's large, bold square cases, they have some of the most instantly recognisable design languages in the luxury watch industry. However, Bell & Ross also offer a vintage collection that forgoes its well-known design language in favour of more conventional watch designs. The one with the Rake and Revolution is the most appealing though. The retro-styled chronograph is unlike anything else in B&R's or anybody else's catalogue, thanks to its champagne dial, brown accents and a satin finish bronze casing. Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. Due to the Navitimer, the brand's flagship chronograph, Breitling is arguably the most recognisable manufacturer of pilots' watches worldwide. That the company also produces what is perhaps the best looking premium diver outside Rolex and Omega is a bit of a surprise. Few other brands have been able to replicate their Super Ocean Heritage ability to take inspiration from its predecessor from the 1950s and transform it into a thoroughly modern diver with eye-catching design elements like a shiny ceramic bezel, daring sword and arrow handset and killer mesh bracelet. Tudor Fast Rider Black Shield. The majority of Tudor's timepieces receive their fair share of attention from the watch community, as the sister brand of Rolex. The Heritage Chrono, the Black Flag and the Black Bay, and Pelagos drivers, and the Adventure Ready Black Flag. But if you ask the majority of watch enthusiasts about the Fast Rider Black Shield, you'll probably receive blank looks. You'd think Tudor's 150 metre water resistant all ceramic chronograph, originally developed in partnership with Ducati motorcycles, would garner more notice. Still instead, it's designed for an unjustified life of obscurity. Aquatimer IWC. IWC only offers a few lines, yet they are all essentially iconic. a Portuguese, a Portofino, a pilot, a Da Vinci, the engineer then, the dive watch from the venerable brand, is hiding in the shadows. The Aqua Timer, however, doesn't just exist so that IWC can claim to employ divers. On the other hand, it is a superb luxury diver that offers something fresh. The watch's novel safe dive bezel technology, which turns the inner bezel using a sliding clutch system activated by ratcheting the outer bezel, complements its unorthodox diver design and creates the safest dive time bezel available, the Chiron Constantine Overseas. Along with the Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet, Vacheron is one of the big three luxury watchmakers. While it's well known among connoisseurs, it's sadly underappreciated by the general public. This is notably true of the three manufacturers' selections of luxury steel integrated bracelet sports watches. Two of the most recognisable watches ever produced, the Patek's Nautilus and AP's Royal Oak, with the most popular models from each line being practically hard to get new. The Overseas, which is just as well finished as its two main rivals, but much simpler to obtain, falls well behind in terms of popularity. I guess that's a win for us. Panerai Submersible. The current Luminor series from Panerai is undoubtedly one of the most recognisable in contemporary watchmaking, and the company's retro-inspired Radiomare also has its fair share of fans. The Submersible is another option but doesn't receive nearly as much attention as its siblings. The watch adopts the well-liked Luminor case style and adds a spinning dive bezel, so it's unclear why. The Submersible is the most distinctive and in a strange way traditional looking Panerai's offers, because it successfully combines two famous styles. Rolex Sky Dweller. Nobody compares to Rolex when it comes to legendary luxury watch companies. Rolex produces some of the most well-known timepieces in the world, including the dressy Datejust and Day-Day from their classic line and the Submariner, Daytona and the GMT Master 2 from their professional line. But the Sky Dweller, which bridges the gap between Rolex's two collections by combining a sporty red accented GMT function with a dressed up solid gold fluted bezel, is flying under the radar, pun intended. Expect these to not go ignored for very long. Jaeger LeCoultre Polaris Marina Memovox. JLC has produced more than its fair share of legendary launches as one of history's most accomplished and significant makers of mechanical watch movements. Although the Master Control series and the flagship Reverso dress watches are at the top of the list, this relatively new diving watch shouldn't be overlooked. The Memovox brand and function from one of JLC's most cherished vintage lines are revived in the stainless steel 300-meter diver, which also incorporates the charming and still impressive mechanical arm with its movement. That's all for this video guys, we'll be back soon with another informative video. Stay tuned.